tichazorora kunyika iyo kudenga vasirino gidandaro topfeka zviremba korona nenguo chena Jesu anopukuta misodzi urwere acharudzinga zarane navo achazvipedza Zorora kunyika iyo kudenga pasirino inamanda shema kuripo topfeka korona nenguo chena Jesu anopukuta misodzi hakuna kuchema hakuna kusuwa kunyika kuzorora topfeka zviremba korona nenguo chena Jesu anopukuta misodzi topfeka zviremba korona nenguo chena Jesu anopukuta misodzi. Ndaona vanhu vakawanda tiri kuimba ndika saka tida kuti auya Joseph aitola akaimbira kunoku but tira timbe te right saka isi chaisa humming mama matanga nditi urwere ndizoka urwere munhu wese aukaona usingaimbiwo apa zenzi singapana nemoto andika urwere 2 Welcome. Welcome tinokuchingamidzai nemufaro unopfachuka pano pachirongwa chenyu The Journey of Life. Ini zita ndinonzi Watson Mbiriri, ndiri mufundisi
uye zvakare ndichitungamirira hurukuro dzatinoita pachirongwa chino cheThe Journey of Life. Mukati mechirongwa chino tinotaura maexperiences akasiyana-siyana atinosangana nawo mukati meupenyu. Nyaya dzatinotaura pano handi dzekunzwa, handi dzekuverenga, handi dzemutv, inyaya dzakatoraramwa, uye vakararama mazviri ndo vanenge vachikoverana nesu. Chinangwa chedu paJourney of Life ndechekuti tiwane zvidzidzo zvatinokwanisa kuti experience yeuyu yandidzidzisawo chekuti, yandichenjedza, yandinyaradza, yanditsiura and so on, tichizvisanganisa saizvozvo. Saka tinotaura zvinhu zvakasiyana zvemukati meupenyu. So mukati mezuva ranhasi toda kutenda Mwari zvikuru nekuda kwehanzvadzi auya kuzotaura pamwe chete nesu pamusoro peexperience yake. Regai timbotanga tachingamidzana. Toda kuchingamidza nenzira yakatsanangurika. And welcome to the Journey of Life.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Toda kutenda zvikuru kwazvo. Ndomboti Ropa for now. She will tell us her name in full when she fully introduces herself.
Yes.
But yes, so toda kutenda zvikuru. Tisati taenda kure. Rega tingotangire pamakorokoto. Congratulations. You have written these 2 wonderful books.
Yes.
You published and launched this one last year.
Yes.
I was privileged to attend that launch. And just a few days ago, you launched your second book, and that is Faithful God, a 50-day devotional that you have just done. And this is a 50-day devotional as well that you launched last year, Dependable God,
Yes.
and then Faithful God. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Tudongotenda Mwari. It is only by His grace that I've been able to accomplish this.
Wow, toda kutenda chinhu chakanaka chakadai. Now, before we talk about the books, let's hear about the author, the writer of the books.
Okay.
Yes. Who is Ropa?
Okay, so my name is Ropa Fadzo Sangaya. I'm a young lady. I'm a third-year medical technology student at the Adventist University of the Philippines. And as you can see through writing, I'm passionate about writing, I'm passionate about reading, and I love music as well. So basically that's me.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. So you're studying in the Philippines?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Wow, medical technology.
Medical technology,
Oh,
yes.
wonderful. This is great. So how is the Philippines?
The Philippines is good.
It's good.
It's good, yes.
Yes. Sometimes people ask me and say, how's winter in the Philippines? And I tell them, Philippines, it's either hot or very hot.
Yes.
That's all.
Exactly. Either hot or very hot.
Or very hot.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful country.
Very beautiful.
With so many places to see, because it's an archipelago, 7,600 islands,
Yes.
There's always a new place to visit, and so on. So thank you so much. And, I can't wait to hear more about, these books. So these are devotionals.
Yes.
Okay? So devotional books. And I've really enjoyed and been blessed together with my family going through this one, because we used it as our devotional as soon as we got our hands on it last year. And so, but you can never say I finished it.
Yes.
Because now and again you find yourself going back to it, and the titles are so catchy and inviting. So tell me, what can readers expect to find when they get their hands on either of these books, or preferably on both?
On both. Okay.
What's in these books?
All right. So generally, as we go through our day-to-day lives, right, we face so many challenges.
Yes.
Be it in our workplaces, at home, even in our families, schools, colleges, anyway. We face a number of challenges. We face disappointments. We face forgotten obligations, broken promises, hardships, a lot of that.
Wow.
So I'm sure you agree with me that we need hope.
No.
People need hope. And I believe that through these devotionals, you can find hope in a troubled world. I believe that through these devotionals, you can you get to experience the multifaceted faithfulness and dependability of God. You get to know a God who is dependable in every situation, a God who is faithful in all seasons. So I believe that readers would really benefit much from this book because we are all looking for hope. We are all looking for light in a dark and troubled world. And I believe as they read through this book, they will learn all these important characteristics of God's character. And as they do that, it also helps you grow in your personal walk with God. It also develops a strong trust in God, which I believe will help each and every person as we try to navigate through life's challenges.
That's good. That's quite rich. And so, as you say that, as we go through life, we face all these kind of situations, the vicissitudes of life, ups and downs,
Yes.
and, disappointments, frustrations, broken promises, and that's life.
That's life.
But learning to trace the hand of God in all these and to see the golden thread that weaves through our lives, connecting what may seem like disconnected events, and so on. And when you begin to look carefully, which you seem to do very well, in that you share quite a lot of your personal experiences, things that may seem like mundane, things that could easily be overlooked. But you see the hand of God that is at work, and so on. What are some of the things that have, maybe an experience that really helps you? Because the two books are really on the dependability of God. His faithfulness is dependable. It suggests that you really have had experiences with God when you've really seen him to be that trustworthy, dependable God. What maybe an experience that you could share with us, one that stands out for you or among many, and say, this really shows me or showed me the dependability or the reliability of God in my life.
Okay.
Yes, because you are sharing out of your rich experiences
Yes.
and encounters with God. Yes.
Okay. I will share a recent experience.
Oh, okay. I like recent.
Yes. So when I was writing this book,
Okay, when you are writing your second book.
yes, Faithful God, I had been trying to start writing,
Okay.
but I just didn't have the inspiration. So when I decided that, okay, I'm going to start now, so I wrote the first devotion, and when I did, I remember I left my laptop on the bed,
Okay.
the one that I use for writing, and then I had an appointment that I had to meet. So I left, I locked my room, then I went.
Okay.
So when I came back, I opened my laptop and I was going to continue typing.
Okay.
But when I opened, I see a blank screen. Like my laptop the LCD was damaged.
Oh.
I couldn't see anything. So I could not say anyone came in and sat on the bed because I locked my room. So no one came. And I did not sit on it because I left it as I was going out.
It was in a functional state.
Yes. So it was quite a surprise to me. So I thought maybe, being someone who is not very technical, I thought maybe it's possible this can happen. But when I went to consult the technicians, they asked me, did you sit on this laptop? No, I did not. Did you drop it? No, I did not. So they told me it's not possible for your laptop to be like this if you did not drop or sit on it. This can only happen if it has been under pressure or something like that.
Wow.
So I was devastated because I had started writing and it was a very huge setback for me. I didn't know what I was going to do. When I was asking them, they told me it's very hard for us to find your LCD. It's going to take us quite a while. So we cannot promise you when we are going to find it. So you just have to wait. Just wait. We'll call you when we find the LCD. So I left that place and I didn't know what to do. So in my mind, I thought, this is the devil who doesn't want me to start writing.
Yes, to work on this
Yes,
project.
because how does this happen? So I got home. I actually mentioned to a friend, my laptop is not working anymore. And then she was like, oh, really? It's not working? And she said, okay, that's fine. You can use my laptop when... She didn't ask me, what are you using your laptop for? What do you want to use it for? She didn't ask any of those questions. She just said, you can use my laptop while you're waiting for yours to be fixed.
Oh, okay.
And then she told me every time I leave, I'll leave it on the kitchen table.
Okay.
So you don't have to come and ask me for it. It will just be there anytime you want to use it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was
So,
kind of it.
To me, that was an answered prayer, because you see, I had not yet prayed for God to provide some resources that I needed. But he even answered my prayer before I prayed for it.
Before you prayed.
He knew what I needed and he provided for it. And like I said, my friend did not know anything. She didn't know what I was working on. She just knew that my laptop doesn't work. And for her to offer her laptop unlimited, in an unlimited amount of time, that you can use it anytime you want to use it, the fact that she gave me the opportunity to use it without having to ask, because obviously I would have thought, I do not want to inconvenience her, so I'm not going to ask. So she just left it there for me to use. So to me, that was God. Like you said, it's difficult. Like sometimes we don't see God's hand. We just think, oh, that was luck.
Luck,
it just happened by chance.
Just explain it.
She just
explain it away in those kind of ways. We rationalize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yet, God works in various ways. Even in the seemingly small situations, even in things that seem like, oh, this just happened. Oh, she just decided that she's going to be kind. But you do not know how God might have impressed that person to be a good influence or to help you in whatever you need help. So this is a very recent experience in which I experienced God's faithfulness in my life.
And it's an experience when you were beginning to write this, this gem of a devotional, book. Oh, I open day 10 and it says, "You hypocrite." The title is just, that's also, something. I'm coming to that soon. The way how you come up with your titles and so on. They're so inviting. They're tempting and tantalizing. Tempting in a good way, and so on. So, you're talking about the faithfulness of God, and I know you've shared so many experiences in the two books. Your personal experiences. Like, for example, when I read the very first devotional in this one, when you're talking about tithe and so on, it's a very, compelling piece and very powerful, a package deal. That is day number 1.
Yes.
Yeah. I found it very interesting, your experience and situations and so on. So, when you talk about dependable God, faithful God, and so on, as you were sharing what happened when you were beginning to write this and so on at school, it also brings to memory some of my own experiences when I was in college.
Yes.
Yeah. It's only that I'm not the one being interviewed today, but I would share experience after experience where I saw the faithfulness of God in amazing ways, in really amazing ways when I was, going through college and so on. And of course, I've seen his faithfulness in so many other ways throughout life. But in the context of being in school, and sometimes the challenges that one faces when you're going through school, and so on, sometimes we didn't have enough resources, and so on and so on. But God was just faithful. I never missed a semester. I never repeated a course. I graduated on time and everything like that. And yet, maybe let me just share something. There's a time, because I was being supported by my parents financially.
Okay.
And my brothers were also in boarding schools and so on. And the funds were not enough. Yeah, the funds were not enough and so on. One time my parents actually wrote a telegram just requesting me to pack and to go back home. And I remember taking that telegram to our chaplain, who was also one of my lecturers, Dr. Enoch Chifamba. And he said, okay, I've seen it. I'll come to your room. And sure enough, all the way from his office, he came to my room and said, let's put it down here like Hezekiah did when he spread Sennacherib's threats to him before the Lord in the temple. And then he says, let's pray. And then we prayed. The long story short, I didn't go back home. I graduated on time.
Wow.
The faithfulness of God. And then one time, I didn't have money for food. In fact, there are many times when I didn't have enough money for food. There were many times. But never did I go to bed on an empty tummy. One time when it almost happened, you won't believe this, Robert, but it happened. Someone came. I was out of the room. It was already evening. And I was sure I was going to bed on an empty tummy. And I went out. I don't remember where I went to. Then I had resigned myself to my fate. This is what's going to happen. But when I came back, there was a lunchbox on my bed. I said, okay. I didn't know this lunchbox. And there was food. It was warm. And there was a note. So just in case you might need this. I had not even shared with anyone of my need. And this is someone who was doing business. They were not even doing theology. It's not someone I used to talk to. You know, from a different part of the country. I was taken aback. And so on. Just to confirm, you know, that God is really faithful.
Really
And He is dependable. Yeah. Maybe I should also write some journals.
You definitely should. And also from your
Yes.
experience, seeing how God already knows how we need
Yes,
before
how we need.
ask for it.
Before we ask,
You-
which is like the case with the
Yes,
laptop.
yes.
That at the time you really need it.
He provided. And that verse which says, before you call,
Yeah, before you call, our
I'll
answer.
answer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, so, you know, talking about these books, the way you give your titles, it's very, you know, the titles are very interesting. Like, for example, Backup Plan. All right? Then you've got Starve Your Distractions. Starve Your Distractions. Then you've got Timeline. That's a title. TikTok. These are
Yes.
titles, you know, Radical Forgiveness. And, oh, believe you me, there are many people who would want to learn about radical forgiveness. Because we get into situations, to all the Marthas, you know, it actually makes me wonder, could I be one of the Marthas? Okay, grieved and so on. You know, the titles. How do you come up with these inviting titles?
Okay. Before I answer that, so when I was on my way here, I received a message.
Okay.
Yes, from a lady named Lolo.
Okay.
So she was saying, oh, hi, Ropa. I just wanted to let you know that I enjoyed reading Dependable God.
Sure.
And my teachers were also asking about it. So when I saw the message, hi, I wondered, okay, hi. So it's just amazing that I received this message as I was coming to meet with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to answer the question of how I come up with these titles, so from a young age, I have always enjoyed reading and creative writing.
Creative writing.
Yes.
Okay.
So even back in high school, everyone who knows me, I was really good at writing
Sure.
compositions and all that. I was really good with my English and writing. So I think it then comes naturally when I'm trying to give a title, because also devotionals should appeal to people from different walks of life. Most people find church things, spiritual books boring. So you want someone to pick up the book, open it, and want to start reading.
Yeah, because even beginning with the cover,
Yes.
it's a beautiful feel to it. You know, I mean, everything about the aesthetics, the color, the way it's done. It's
Thank
just
you.
beautiful.
Thank
It's
you.
just beautiful. Yeah. So.
So you want the reader to find the book inviting already before they start reading.
Before they start
Because
reading.
if you tell someone, I want to give you a devotional, they're like, okay, it's fine, give me, I'll read. But when they look at the book, they're like, oh, okay, and then they read the first heading, the first title, and then they'll be interested to know more.
To know more.
Yeah,
yes.
so I also think this is a way to invite people to read, because people need to read and grow spiritually, but we find people prefer to read novels because they are catchy, they are exciting, that's what they want to read. But people should also know that everything to do with God can also be inviting and interesting to read.
That's right. So that creativity, when we come to the Word of God, we should not lose that creativity. In
Yes.
fact, we need to use it more.
Exactly.
Which is probably why when God gave instructions for the tabernacle to be built, he pointed out people who were skilled, because he wanted a fine piece. He wanted a good product at the end of the day.
Yes.
So when we do anything for God, even building churches, it should not be a shoddy job. It should
Exactly.
be, the best that we can
That we
offer.
can offer,
The best that we can, and you are really doing that. The way you have the covers designed, the way you put the titles and then write the devotions in a creative way, engaging, because you're sharing experiences and encounters, and it can also help me as a reader to identify. For example, just like when you shared your experience with the laptop, it helps me identify from my own experiences, which is why I was now being tempted to share my own stories. So it's a beautiful thing, very beautiful. You just like to hold. And one thing that I've seen with your devotions is that one needs to be disciplined,
Okay.
because you end up losing track of this day one, day two, day whatever. You just read and read. It's very difficult to put it down once you start reading.
And before you know it, you're
Yeah,
done.
before you know it, you're done. In a
Yeah.
day or so, when it's supposed to take you for 50 days.
For 50 days,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was my experience, with when I started with, Dependable God.
God.
Yeah, tell me, what are some of the experiences you have had out of this book, or with people sharing their stories you have just shared with us? Someone who just sent you a message now, but I believe there could be people who have reached out, who have shared with you their experiences or something that really edified them and so on. What experiences have you had since since you published this one?
Okay.
Your first one.
All right. Actually, I have received a couple of testimonies from parents who say their children now find devotional time interesting.
Oh, wonderful.
And they also are now very excited to lead devotionals because of reading, especially through Dependable God.
Yes.
Many parents have come to me and said, oh, Ropa, my daughter now loves leading our devotionals. And even when I'm at work, I work night shift, I'm not at home. In the morning when I come, they tell us, oh, Mama, you were not there, but we are already on day 30 or we are already on day 31. So I'm very grateful to God to know that this devotional has even impacted even young lives, younger than me, who are now very much interested in God's word, because usually at that age, maybe at 14, at 15, people are more interested in their cell phones, more interested in
gadgets.
social media. So it's very inspiring to know that this has also helped people be interested in spiritual matters.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, when it's time for family worship and so on, sometimes we don't have a clear plan. We don't really know where to start from. And then we end up doing things that are not really organized. And it becomes boring, especially to the young ones and so on. But you have provided tools, resources that are very important to help families, to help individuals, to help. Some may want to do it in groups and so on. But, so that was our experience also as a family. We found it quite a joy. So we can't wait to go through Faithful God. And so on. Yeah, so, and I think it's quite edifying to you as a writer when you get that kind of feedback.
Yeah,
Is
it
it?
is. It's really motivating
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, you want your writings to inspire people and to help people grow in their personal walk with God, which is why, like you mentioned, personal experiences before. I include a lot of personal experience, a lot of testimonies from other people, biblical texts, spirit of prophecy, in order to provide a wholeness and depth to a devotional, so that when someone takes this devotional and starts reading, they are engaged, but at the same time they grow spiritually.
That's great. So to you, my brother, to you, my sister, you know, these are great resources. It's not just because we are here, but I've used them for myself, for my own edification, together with my family. We can't wait. I was privileged to have also attended the launch of this second book, which is where we said, why don't we share with more people so that people get to know that there are these resources. Because many times when you see devotionals, they are coming from different parts of the world, different cultures, and so on. But this is from one of our own, who sees through our own eyes, and so on. So I believe God can use these to be a blessing to you, to your family, to your group. You could, even share with as gifts that you could share with people, friends and family, colleagues at work. Say, I have a present for you. Very powerful, and I believe many people appreciate, and they will be edified, really edified, going through this. So you mentioned the word inspiration. You have mentioned it at least twice in our conversation. That sometimes when you're beginning to write this and so on. Now, where do you draw the inspiration to write? And what motivates you? What drives you? Is it what you read from other writers? Do you have writers that you look up to, and so on? Because many people would tell you that looking at a blank page when you want to begin writing, it's not easy. Just looking at a blank page.
Yes.
I mean, how do you take us through the inspiration, the writing process? How do you do it? I can tell you there are many people with half-finished, manuscripts or scripts in their computers,
Yes.
and so on. Some scripts could be as old as Ropa. It's not yet done. Take us through the writing process, the inspiration, and how you actually do your writing.
Okay. So initially, before I started writing, I was seated and I was thinking, what am I doing as an individual to hasten Christ's coming? What am I doing to play my part? Because I'm a student, so I'm in campus full time, and my program is very demanding. So I'm in school 7 to 7. So to really have time to do your part, you might find that you don't have that time. So that was just one thing that happened.
Okay.
So on a different day, I was looking at everything that was going on in the world, seeing everything that's happening, and I realized that there are so many people who are suffering. There are so many people who are looking for hope. There are so many people who just need to know that there is a Savior. And then on a third different day, I was looking at everything that God has done for me and everything that He has done for those around me, people close to me, or even strangers who I just hear giving testimonies. And then I realized that there are so many people who also need to know that God is good. And I also realized, I asked myself this question, what shall I render unto the Lord? Yes, for all that
when
He
has done so
much for me. So through all this, I then realized that, that's when I felt inspired to start writing. That
these realizations.
Yes.
Okay.
There's chapter in Exodus chapter 4 when God asks Moses, what do you have in your hand?
In your hand.
And Moses had a rod, and that rod was used to bring miracles. So for me, I have my talent of writing. That's what I enjoy doing. So I felt inspired to use what I can do to reach people, to use what I can do to bring hope, to use what I can do to tell people more about God. And so, like you said, when you're looking at a blank page,
Yeah.
you don't know what to write.
The tyranny of a blank page.
Exactly. So there was the inspiration to start, but there was a blank page.
There was a blank
There
page.
was a blank page. So I think also God works in ways we cannot understand. He works in mysterious ways. And when I then prayed about it and decided, okay, I'm going to start writing, the inspirations just came. I would find myself, let's say I meet you, Pastor Mbiri, we have a conversation, and from that conversation, I already have a devotion to write about.
You listen to a song, you listen to a
I
sermon.
listen to a song.
You
Yes,
talk to a friend.
Or in every. So
You're in a lecture.
exactly. So now I find that when I'm writing, in every encounter, I found inspiration to write. All through the writing process, in every encounter with people, in school, in church, in music, wherever it is, I start seeing God in every little thing, and then I find inspiration to write devotionals. But of course, I do have those days, those blank days. I can go for 2 weeks looking at a blank page and not knowing what
the
day
blank page
35
is
is going to
staring
be
back at
about.
you.
Yes. So it's not always a smooth process. I do have those writer's block as well.
Okay.
Yes, but I do believe that God has things that He wants to bring to His people, and He shows them in different encounters.
That's great. That's great. You know, it's important to to hear how others are doing it and so on. So basically, how long did it take you to write each of these books? When you're writing them, do you start with a deadline that, okay, I'm going to launch this book on such a date, or you just write until maybe you get to the when you're done? And how do you know that now I'm done?
Okay.
Is writing really ever done?
No, writing is never really ever done. And do I start with a deadline? No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not. But I do find that I find inspiration around the same time. So I started writing Dependable God in August of last year.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That is 2023.
2023.
2023,
Yes.
August.
2023
That's when
August.
that's when you started writing
That's
your
when
first.
I started writing my first devotional.
Okay.
That was about the end of August 2023. And it took me about 3 months to finish writing. So I was debating, is it going to be a year-long devotional? Is it going to be a quarterly devotional? What is it going to be? But then I realized that most people have a stack of 365-day devotionals in their home. They read day 1 until day 10. They buy another one. They read until day 10. And then they don't finish. But then if it's a shorter book, then people can finish it.
Okay.
Which is true, because most people, like you, also finish this very early.
Yes.
Before 50 days are done, they are already asking, Papa, when is the next devotional coming?
Yes, that's right.
And they have benefited from it as compared to having a long book where they haven't.
Which no one finishes.
Yes. So then that's when I just decided to start with small books, maybe a series of small books. If I'm to later on write a 365 years, but then I decided to start with this. And do you finish writing? No. When I get to day 50, maybe later on when you have already submitted the manuscript for processing and everything, you realize that you have a day 51 that needs to be written. So at one point I was thinking, should I include a bonus excerpt in the devotional for it to be a day 51? So no, I don't think you really finish, but you just tell yourself that I'm going to write until this day. And then, yes.
Yes, and you know something that you said earlier on, that once the process is started, God then guides you, and you begin to have insights or draw inspiration from things that maybe someone will just overlook.
Yes.
You begin to notice, something like that. It's almost like if there's maybe a dress that someone wants and so on, you get it. You begin to see it everywhere.
Exactly.
Prior to that, people had
Yes.
it, but your mind was just not, adjusted to pick it. So I think it's amazing how God has designed our minds or our brains to work. That the brain works with the kind of condition that it has been put into. So if you tell it that we need this, it begins to look for that everywhere. It begins to look for that everywhere, and it brings, and if you notice that, check this out, check this out. But if I'm just wandering through aimlessly, I won't see so many things, and so on. So yeah, it's a beautiful thought, and it's important to know that so many things that could have just gone unsaid and unnoticed have been well captured and packaged for the benefit, for the edification of many other people. That's right. That's right. Okay. So anything?
Maybe I'd also like to tell the viewers how this writing has also impacted my life.
Okay, yes.
Yes. So, like Pastor said, our brain is designed in such a way that when you start seeing things, you start seeing them.
Yeah.
But when
everywhere.
you're looking,
Yeah.
when you're not looking,
You won't see them.
Exactly, you won't see them. So this process of writing has really been a process of spiritual growth for me as well. I find that when I'm writing, I start to see God in every little thing. I start even to read. I have to read a lot to write.
Okay.
I think you asked something. I
Yes.
have to read, study my Bible a lot, read Spirit of Prophecy a lot. And I have to read widely because at the end of the day, you don't want people to be led astray after reading this book. So even after praying, you also have to be very careful what you're sharing with the world. So I find that through this process, I also learn a lot of things that I didn't know. Because when I share a testimony or a personal experience, I need to back it with scripture. I need to back it with maybe Spirit of Prophecy. So when I'm studying, I get to learn a lot and learn a lot of things that I otherwise would not have known if I had not done that. So this process has been a process of growth for me. I believe that it has helped me in my spiritual growth and also in my personal walk with God. I think, that's what I'd like to say.
All right. Yeah, that's great. So, what would you say to people who have been trying to write, but maybe they just never get to finish, and so on? What would you say? And then while you're thinking about that, some people would think that, writing books, people have moved on with the times. They are now, all kinds of other things that people are busy with. Very few people, and more so in our culture, many people are not so much into reading after school, especially after they are done with formal education.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. And also for a young person like yourself, it's quite interesting. What are your thoughts around these things?
Okay. I think I've heard it said that if you want to hide something
Yes,
from an African,
put it in a book. Yeah, then we will not find it.
Yes.
But if you put it in the cave, the darkest cave, we'll go in there.
We'll go in there. Yes. I think it's really important for us to develop a culture of reading, especially young people, because even right now, most older people don't like reading. You're just going to go to church, listen to what is being said in church. That's when you open the verse, and then that's it. But we need to develop a culture of reading and learning on our own. So I'm encouraging young people out there to read and study, especially spirituality is a personal walk. You don't learn through what you're being told, or you're not going to be...
Okay, that's deep.
Yes, you're not going to be saved because of what Pastor Mbilili knows. It's a personal experience. So it's important for you to read and learn on your own. And also, to young people like me, I'm a college student. Many people ask me, how do you write and study as well?
Yeah, balancing those two.
Balance
because
both.
studying on its own is very demanding.
It's very demanding. Yes, especially I also find my program very challenging and demanding. But contrary to what people may think, writing it helps me cope. Writing actually helps me cope. I find that when
It's
I'm
both a challenge and a blessing.
I find that when I'm under a lot of pressure and stress, when I write, I just find a lot of peace and tranquility in that, and it helps me to cope with the pressures of life. So also, to someone who hasn't started writing because they think writing they cannot finish, they cannot manage, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. All you need to do is to start. There's someone who approached me a couple of months ago.
Yes.
They said, I have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge to share. People come to me for counseling. I share things everywhere. But I feel that I should write this. This will help so many people that I might never get to meet. So they were asking me, what do you think? Should I start writing? I told them start. So 2 months down the line, they came and they told me, I think I'm actually somewhere. So I'm just motivating everyone else out there who wants to write, that you can write. And also, it's not too late to write, whether you're 40, whether you're 50. It's never too late to start.
That's great. It's never too late to start.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really a word of encouragement there. And writing is a way of refining our thinking.
Yes.
When we're talking, we're just talking, and so on and so on. But writing, you really have to find the correct way to phrase and to capture something.
That's
and sometimes you have to delete a passage or restructure your sentences and so on. Because writing, as you are saying, that it has really benefited you, it's something that refines our thinking and makes us much better than if we never wrote.
Yes.
Yeah, than if we never wrote. So, and thank you for talking about reading and the importance thereof. Someone once said that he who does not read has no advantage over he who cannot read. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
If you can but you don't, you have no advantage over one who can't.
Who can't?
Yeah, you're the same.
You're the same.
Yes, we are the same. So reading really makes a difference in our spiritual growth and development and so on, which is why God insisted that all those prophets should write. And you tell them, write. Moses, write. All these, Daniel, write. Habakkuk, write. God is so big on having things written down. Even the 10 Commandments, he would have just thundered from the mountaintop, but he had to write. So which means books are really an important part of our spiritual growth, development, and nourishment. And especially beautiful ones such as these are very important indeed. So where can people find your books? I know people are watching from everywhere. Someone is in Ireland, some are in Beirut, some are in Lebanon, some are in Israel, Tel Aviv, or everywhere. Botswana, some Zim. And people will say, well, that sounds like those are good books, but where on earth would I meet Ropa to get my hands on the books?
On the books.
Yes.
Okay, so for people who would like to get these books and maybe they are not in Zimbabwe, these books are available on Amazon. This is already available on Amazon. You can get it if you just search Dependable God, a 50-day devotional. You can find this on Amazon. And then this one will be on Amazon in a few days. Today is the 20th, right? Starting from the 23rd of December 2024. You can find Faithful God on Amazon as well. You can just go onto your search bar and you search Faithful God, a 50-day devotional. It will also be available on Amazon.
Thank you so much. So you said that you started writing your first one August 2023, end of August 2023. Yes. And then this got published, it got launched or published when?
In December 2023.
In December of 2023.
Yes.
So within those few months. And then when did you start working on this one?
I started working on this one August 2024.
Wow, August 2020. So the inspiration comes around August.
Around August.
And this one just got launched.
Yes.
And that is December 2024.
Yes.
Wow. So that's beautiful. So some people do have all those things like, self-publishing and things like that. How is it with you? And where are these published and printed? Is it here in Zim, or is it in the Philippines or somewhere else?
Yes, it's in Zim. So the publisher is called Media Essentials.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Media Essentials here in Zimbabwe. In Harare. I wish I had the contact.
Oh, okay.
I would have said it, yes. But Media Essentials, they're a very good publisher. I worked with them. I've had so many people complaining about publishers, but I did not find any problem.
Any challenges?
Yes, I was actually referred by someone who had experienced some challenges with a certain publisher.
Oh, with a certain publisher.
Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
the publisher is the one who does the publishing as well as the printing.
Okay.
Yes.
As well as the printing.
Yes.
And the distribution? You do that?
Yes, the distribution, I do that. For now, this book, for bookshops here, it's at Inn of 8 bookshop.
Oh, okay, Inn of
Yes.
8.
Inn of 8 bookshop at any of their branches. But for this one, I have not yet, since it has just been recently.
It has just come out.
Yes, I have not yet distributed it yet.
It would be great getting these in ABC as well, right?
Yes, it's actually still in the process.
You're still in the process?
Yes, I already submitted them to ABC.
To ABC?
Yes.
Yes, because I remember submitting to a publishing director. I gave them a copy.
Okay.
I had 2 copies. I gave them one of the 2 that I had
Okay.
of the first one, and they really liked it as well. So, yeah, I think ABC helps it, to get to more people.
To get it to more people.
As well, so that it's a blessing to more families.
To more families,
Yeah, to more people.
Hopefully
Yes.
very soon it will be now on the ABC shelves. We're
Yes,
just
yeah, praying
waiting.
for that.
Yes.
Yeah, praying for that to
Yes.
really happen, and so on. So I think, randomly, I'm just going to pick one of the topics, and then
Okay.
you can read for us, a paragraph or 2
All right.
So I'm on, this is Faith for God, okay? So that we can get, that is page 92, Unmerited Favor. If you could read something for us.
Okay.
That is on page 92, Unmerited Favor. That's day 29.
Day 29.
Yes.
Okay. Day 29, Unmerited Favor. Ephesians 2, verse 8 to 9. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. If you do this for me, I'll do that for you in return. Have you ever heard the statement before? I'm sure you have. In fact, at some point you might have said those very words to someone. In the world we live in today, it seems like most people do not do things out of the goodness of their heart anymore. Gabriella Barnard said, "Nothing in this world is free. Just remember, everything comes with a price." Does everything really come with a price? Probably everything you have heard about so far does. Today I'm going to introduce you to something that does not come with a price. In fact, it is something freely given, even though you do not deserve it. This something is called grace. Baker's Evangelical Dictionary of Biblical Theology defines grace as the unmerited favor of God toward humanity. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary goes on to define the word unmerited as not adequately earned or deserved. In other words, grace is undeserving favor. As our key verse today says, grace is a gift of God, not earned from works or any good thing you might have done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, wow. And you're even going into, the theological definitions and so on. I mean, that takes quite a lot of reading.
Yes.
And tell me about, the place of discipline in the writing process, self-discipline.
Writing takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline because maybe sometimes you just feel tired and exhausted. Even if you have said, okay, I'm going to dedicate my Friday afternoon to writing, maybe Friday afternoon you are done with your day and you just think I need to sleep and rest.
Mhm.
So I think writing really takes a lot of self-discipline, like everything else does, for you to be able to accomplish what you want to do, especially in writing.
Mhm.
It really requires a lot of dedication and discipline.
Do you have specific time and place that you dedicate to your writing, or it's just as and when? Or you say, okay, I have specific times when I do this, and maybe a particular spot from which
Okay.
I do this.
I love writing sitting on my bed
Oh, okay.
in my room,
Mhm.
and I find a lot of inspiration on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Yes, on Fridays. So I write a lot during the weekend
Mhm.
and rarely during the week.
Oh, rarely
Yes,
during the
yes,
week.
because I think you need presence of mind. So during the week, of course, sometimes once or twice.
Okay.
But maybe I'm swamped with exams and quizzes. But when it's weekend, I have peace of mind, and I find that I have a lot of inspiration to write.
And don't you feel, I mean, as a young lady, that probably you're missing out, people are chit-chatting, networking in different ways and so on, socializing. I suppose you have to take yourself from part of this so that you can, make progress with your writing.
Yes.
Don't you feel like something like that, or maybe your friends looking for you? Where's Ropa, or something like that?
Not really. I
Okay.
don't. Yeah. Naturally, I'm already not a very outgoing person.
Ah,
Yes, I spend a lot of time indoors or
Okay.
by myself. So, not really. Though my friends, when I'm writing, they know. So, probably sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, Ropa, are you free to come hang out with us?" Or, "Are you writing?"
or are you writing?
Yes.
Okay.
So, since I already don't do a lot of outgoing activities,
Uh-huh.
I don't feel that I miss out so much.
And how about your parents and so on, your family? How have they received this, or how have they supported you in your writing journey?
My parents have been very supportive.
Uh-huh.
Yes, my parents have been really supportive, even my family as a whole. Even when I started writing, my parents affirmed me and they encouraged me to start writing. They didn't tell me that I could not do it. They did not tell me that I could not accomplish it. And I believe that their support and encouragement has really been a help for me. It encourages me. Even sometimes when I'm at school and I call my mom or my dad, and then they ask me, "Ropa, how far are you with your writing?" It's also on their mind.
Okay.
They are also thinking about what I'm doing. So I am very grateful to God to have given me parents as well as family who is very supportive. And also, if you saw at the launch that we had last time, a lot of family were also
Oh, yes,
present.
yes, yeah,
So
they
I'm
were
also
present.
grateful that family is always there to support. Even when I write, I always send to my parents, "Can you take a look at what I have written?" They always spare time, even in their busy schedules, to look and read at what I have written, and I'm really grateful to that. And also, because of that question, I just want to ask parents out there to be really supportive to your children, because there are a lot of things that your children may achieve if only you were more supportive.
Oh, great. A lot, if they were to stand on your shoulders, they could see much further. So being there for our children,
Yes.
they will achieve a lot more than they could on their own, and so on. So really beautiful, titles. I just can't wait to devour this one. I just can't wait. And let me say, it's beautifully packaged. Because many times I think one of the things we struggle with is packaging. Because sometimes we are content just saying that we have the truth, or something like that, whatever that means. And then we are not careful how we actually package to make it appealing to somebody. But I've always said that, for example, when you look at the natural foods that God created, the fruits, He was very particular about packaging as well. You look at a strawberry, you look at, you put colors, you put textures, you could have just put nutrients into something that is just maybe gray or That is just colorless.
Yes.
But he's very particular about colors. So some fruits are green, some are yellow, some are orange, some it's packaging. So packaging matters, and you're doing a fine job with that. Have you ever thought about maybe like audio books in terms of maybe these devotionals being available in audio form?
Yes, I have. It's just that I haven't really gotten the time
Oh, okay.
to really look into it.
Mhm.
Yes, but there are also a couple of people who prefer to
Audio.
listen to
Yeah,
it
when
as they're
they're
going to
driving
work or
and stuff,
driving.
yeah.
Yes, but it's definitely something that I'll make sure to do.
Okay, so what's next for you? What are you looking forward to with regards to your writing? I know there are things you're doing in terms of your studies and your career and so on, but with regards to writing, what are you looking forward to?
Okay,
Where would you want to get to?
where would I want to get to?
Do you have people you look up to who are also writers?
Yes, I do. I look up to Brenda Walsh. I don't know
Okay.
if you know Brenda Walsh.
Yes. I do.
She's
Yes,
an
yes.
Adventist as well,
Yes.
and she writes devotionals.
Devotionals, yeah, that's
I've
great.
read her devotionals, and they're very inspiring. And I look forward to also writing a year-long devotional.
Or a year-long devotional.
Yes, and I hope since you have read these two and you found that you benefited a lot, you would be able to finish that year-long devotional as well.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
right. That's right. Yes, especially if you keep with this engaging style and so on, so accessible and so on. Another Adventist devotional writer that I really enjoy, of course, one of my professors back in IS, Dr. Carlos Mora.
Okay.
Yes, from Costa Rica, and so on. And then also Calvin Rock.
Okay.
Very, very interesting. Calvin Rock, one of our leaders used to be in the USA, and so on, in the faith. Very much respected until today. So there is, these are some of those that I've really enjoyed and I've been edified by their work, and so on. Ellen White herself, devotionals
Ellen
that have
White.
been made out of her
Exactly,
writings
yes.
are very beautiful and engaging, indeed. Okay, so we are so grateful because Ropa has been so kind, has been gracious to us. So I'm going to ask, some random questions because she's so kind. She's giving out some copies free. Okay. Yes, so this could be yours. This actual copy could be yours. This one, it could be yours. So, for example, I would want people who can share with us and tell us. The first ones who are going to respond on the number that is on the screen. You're going to respond and mention any of the devotional titles that I read quite a number earlier on. I read quite a number. Any of those that you remember, you can just write as a response, and we'll see how we can get your book to you. So we're going to do first come, first served. That's the way we're going to do it. And what is Ropa studying? What is she studying? Which country is she studying in? These are some of the questions. When did she first write? When did she begin working on Dependable God? When did she begin working on Dependable God? When was this one launched? When was it published? The month and the year. That is Faithful God. If you can share with us. So we've got 10 copies. That is 5 of each, right? Confirm? Yeah, 5 of this one, 5 of Faithful God, which Ropa, courtesy of Ropa, are going out as free gifts. Then, if you do win, we'll then organize how we can get your copy to you. Isn't this beautiful? And so on. We want to thank God so much. Any final words, any final thoughts, Ropa, that you would want to leave with our viewers and listeners, maybe on the value of devotion or devotional life?
Okay, yes. To all the viewers out there and to the readers, I'd just like to encourage you, like I mentioned before, to develop a culture of reading. And also I want to encourage you as you try to tackle life challenges. I want to encourage you not to try to go through it alone. we have a faithful God. There is also a dependable God who is there and promises to strengthen you and carry you through. And like he says in Hebrews 10 verse 23, he who promised is faithful. So I hope you study more, you read devotionals, and you try to draw the strength that God can only provide to us.
Thank you so much. Let it be your New Year's resolution in 2025 to go through these devotional books and more that you can also get access to. And let that be a blessing to you. May God bless you. I've been blessed, and I pray that God keeps on using Europa. And we look forward to more book launches.
Thank you, Pastor.
We look forward to more book launches, and God bless you with your studies and with your career and everything. I hope sometime soon we'll be back here talking maybe about a new release, a new book that you would have launched. God bless you, and we wish you well.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you for inviting me.
That's all right. We thank God. We thank God so much. God bless you, dear viewers.